Just 1 second of distraction or a split-second decision can completely change what happens next. Let's take a look at today's notable moments caught on camera and the safety lessons behind them.
Down towards the ground.
This moment shows that low-altitude performances always require strict safety margins because the time to correct a mistake is measured in just a few seconds. Do you think older training planes without ejection seats should still take part in low-altitude shows? Some people stay safe just out of pure luck, not because they're paying attention.
Jesus Christ.
The girl crossing the street without looking ended up making 2 cars pay the price for her decision. He might have thought he was finding an escape route, but he turned the whole intersection into a place where no one had a safe way to go. This moment is a good reminder for drivers to slow down and always expect the unexpected when passing through an intersection. The woman only had time to say, "Oh my God," while the tree barely had a chance to say a word. The driver. Sydney Thomas was stuck in the cab for over 40 minutes before being rescued by the Louisville Fire Department. This moment shows that the median barrier did its job. It helped absorb some of the impact and prevented a much worse outcome. The Holden might have wanted to save a few seconds, but it ended up costing everyone at the intersection a lot more time. Luckily, there were no reported injuries for the minivan driver after the incident. The motorcycle rider didn't buy a lottery ticket that day, but they definitely walked away with a huge amount of luck. On the highway, a tire blowout can leave a driver with just seconds to react. The dog was probably just going for a walk, but accidentally ended up in the fastest reflex test of the day. This moment shows that waiting a few seconds is always less costly than a crash and all the headaches that come after it. Where are you watching from right now, and what's the weather like in your area? The moment the Canadair drops low and dumps water on the fire shows just how incredibly precise these firefighting pilots are. Luckily, the semi-truck driver only had minor injuries, even though the front of the rig was heavily damaged. The first day at the in-laws usually starts with a smile, but not after this incident. Curiosity sometimes only lasts a few seconds, but the price to pay is something this guy will remember for a long time. She showed up for an interview, but ended up getting a high-speed experience that definitely wasn't in the script. This moment shows that tearing down a bridge doesn't just take power. It takes incredible precision in every step of the setup. These two just wanted to sit down for a drink, but the car decided to say hello a little too enthusiastically. This shows why an accident scene needs to be locked down early to prevent even more things from going wrong. This is a great reminder to always keep an eye on traffic, even when you're just standing on the sidewalk. She might have just planned to stop by the shop, but the car decided to book a haircut a little too directly. Early checks show the sinkhole created a massive crater roughly 30 meters long, 30 meters wide, and up to 50 meters deep. Luckily, nobody was outside when the tornado passed through, so there were no reports of anyone getting directly hurt. Before leaving a vehicle on a hill, drivers need to set the parking brake, check the gear, and turn the wheels the right way. These incidents show that out on the water, heavy momentum makes it impossible for ships to stop or turn quickly. Do you think local authorities should put up more warning signs to prevent things like this from happening again? It took about 40 minutes before people were finally able to get the cow safely under control. Before any demolition begins, the surrounding area needs to be totally blocked off, and a safe distance has to be kept. Luckily, the incident didn't damage the train, and railway operations kept running without a hitch. Whenever a fire breaks out, workers need to quickly cut the power and get out of the area safely. The semi-truck might weigh dozens of tons, but Typhoon Jebi still flipped it over like it was a toy. If a car is stuck on the tracks and a train is coming, do you think the driver should get out right away or risk a few more seconds to try and save the vehicle? Both black boxes have been recovered. They'll help investigators break down how the plane was operating and exactly what went on inside the cockpit.
Oh my God!
This just goes to show that drivers need to slow down when crossing railroad tracks. The rough surface can easily throw a vehicle off balance. This moment shows exactly why dangerous cargo has to be properly secured and double-checked before a truck ever hits the road. A split-second reaction helped this girl dodge a heavy object that came crashing down right next to her. I've watched this twice and I still can't clearly see what she did to the guy. This goes to show that dash cams don't just record the action. They can also become a key piece of evidence when you need to clear things up with the police. Watching these massive pipes being loaded onto the ship so smoothly, it's easy to forget that they definitely aren't light at all. Oh man, you really shouldn't clean the glass that well. The way the employee calmly checked in and reassured the girl deserves a 10 out of 10 for both kindness and professionalism. When the ground starts shaking, the most important thing is to stay calm and quickly find a safe place to take cover. After a lightning strike, the runway and parking areas need to be thoroughly checked before any planes can get back to normal operations.
Mais c'est une énorme avalanche de 500 mètres de long qui descend dangereusement la piste.
Donc on avait l'impression que c'était plutôt inoffensif.
70 skiers had to be evacuated from the ski lift after an avalanche caused some serious damage. Just a few seconds of shaking was all it took for every item in the store to suddenly switch places. The screaming you hear in the video shows just how sudden the tremor was. It left everyone with almost zero time to prepare. This is a good reminder that before heading out to sea, the crew always needs to check the weather forecast, test their communication gear, and review emergency plans. This incident happened early in the morning, right when visibility and the ability to spot dangers on the road are usually limited. Whenever a vehicle runs into a sudden technical issue, the driver should slow down and pull over to stay safe. What do you think is more dangerous in a situation like this? The raw power of the wind, or all the sharp debris flying around? This goes to show that content from influencers can never replace official safety warnings. Well, that landing definitely wasn't smooth at all.
Он сколько весит, Игорек? Я все вот добиваюсь. Тон. Вовремя я снял.
You have to respect the quick thinking and skill of this truck driver right after the brakes completely gave out. The homeowner set up motion-activated sprinklers to scare away burglars. According to Department of Transportation guidelines, crossing a solid white line to pass another vehicle is never recommended. With a rat running wild right in front of her, the girl was suddenly left completely speechless. Now, I'm no expert, but you can clearly see a lot of branches on the other side. They probably should have trimmed some of those to balance the weight before bringing the whole trunk down. Once the ground and rocks start shifting, people need to immediately get out of the landslide's path instead of standing around to watch. The moment this 3,000 horsepower Dodge Ram suddenly failed on the dyno, it took everyone in the room by surprise. The quick reflexes of the people inside the shop helped them dodge the out-of-control vehicle all in a matter of seconds. Don't look away because the most surprising moment is probably still waiting for you right up ahead. If you enjoy unexpected moments like this, don't forget to hit subscribe so you can catch all our new videos. He just wanted a nice photo next to the red car, but he ended up creating a moment that absolutely nobody wants to remember. Luckily, the whole thing only caused a good scare and nobody ended up getting hurt. This girl decided to ignore her parents and climbed the fence to sneak out with her boyfriend. This story told by Derek really shows just how clearly animals can express their affection and gratitude towards humans. Luckily for Chad, another employee stepped in and managed to distract his friend. A humpback whale leaves a group of whale watchers in Alaska completely soaked during an incredibly close encounter.
Stop! Okay, sorry.
If this clip caught you by surprise, make sure to hit subscribe because we've got even more unbelievable moments coming right up. After getting out of the car, the woman told police she took off because she didn't have a valid driver's license. According to court records, she was hitting speeds of up to 80 miles per hour right in a 55 mile per hour zone. Watching this helicopter take off right over a crowded road is definitely enough to make anyone a little nervous. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next big moments.
Oh, God.
Whenever you run into an out-of-control driver, your safest bet is to lock your doors, keep your distance, and avoid stepping out to confront them. When passing through an interchange, drivers need to keep a steady speed and keep an early eye out for vehicles merging or exiting the lane. This moment proves that signal communication and track control systems always need to be strictly monitored. According to local media, the driver actually mistook the gas pedal for the brake, which caused the car to completely lose control. Whenever a vehicle is being recovered on the road, the scene needs to be marked off from a distance, giving other drivers plenty of time to slow down and switch lanes. Do you think the driver in front had insurance coverage to deal with completely unexpected accidents like this one?
Ranko, izgleda da ti je zagrezno prednji spoiler. Lagano, tako!
Sudden turns of events on the road show why drivers always need to stay completely focused, even when the drive feels totally familiar. Drivers trying to merge need to actively adjust their speed, check their mirrors, and only make their move when they're sure the lane is clear.
Holy.
Do you ever get heavy rain and massive wind gusts like this in your area?
Walmart, big part.
This car just got completely out of luck while driving through the flooded road. Instead of just driving another half mile to make a legal U-turn, the driver tried to pull off a sudden spin right in the middle of traffic. Luckily, the driver only walked away with minor injuries after plunging right into the river. The car just kept on driving, dragging the traffic sign right along with it. It created a scene that was just as dangerous as it was unbelievable.
Ребята, актеры фильма «Без границ», Мария Шалаева и Роман Маякин. Кроме вас, там еще огромное количество, конечно, актеров снималось. Мне интересно, удалось ли сыграть в кадре с нашими мэтрами.
This moment is a harsh reminder for drivers to always control their speed and keep a safe following distance out on the road. The electric bike was moving way too fast, and the girl riding it just couldn't maintain control through that tight corner. This is exactly what I imagine the point of view of an NPC in an open-world racing game looks like. A quick reminder that your tires' speed and the road grip all need to be taken seriously before you ever start your trip. Luckily, the farm owner said the entire herd of donkeys was completely safe, and only the barn took some damage. What looked like a totally normal river crossing turned into a harsh warning. Out on the water, even the slightest mistake can't be taken lightly. If this clip caught you off guard, be sure to hit subscribe because we've got even more unbelievable moments still to come. Luckily, everyone made it out safe. If this clip caught you off guard, be sure to hit subscribe because we've got even more unbelievable moments still to come. Luckily, everyone made it out safe. The moment he felt something brush against his skin, the man woke up instantly. Down in the Tumbs region, a crowd of people had to scramble away from the shore when the ocean suddenly surged right into the staging area. Would you be brave enough to stand close to the shore to watch the Bono waves, or would you pick a nice safe spot further back? It's not over yet, and this next situation is even harder to believe than what you just saw. The simple truth is, you can find a fool behind the wheel of just about any kind of vehicle. He probably just used up his entire year's worth of luck in this one situation. Amen to that. After the car finally came to a stop down in the ditch, both people involved were arrested by the authorities.
Ça, le Larry ayé. Regarde cette voiture, c'est une technologie, la voiture va... Oh, la voiture descend.
Without a doubt, this is the luckiest driver of the year.
Qui va dire, oh, qu'est-ce que passe? J'ai expliqué.
The car driver decided not to exit the roundabout at the very last second. It left the motorcycle rider with almost zero time to react. Technical inspections are still going on at the scene, and the investigation is currently underway. This just shows that if you're ever provoked on the road, the best thing to do is keep your distance record, the evidence, and call the police instead of trying to get revenge yourself. The protective frame of the car, along with the seatbelts, played an incredibly important role while the vehicle was flipping over multiple times.
Say he's out of the car. I don't think they need us. I'm glad you...
Come here!
Even though he was on foot, he still managed to catch up to the cyclist, take control of the situation, and get his stolen phone right back. The unique license plate on that Chrysler shows up perfectly in the video. It could easily become a key piece of evidence for the police to track this down.
The individual recording the video also gets out of their vehicle at one point.
The Coolbaugh Township Board sits on the viral video tonight.
Kara Rogan, a member of the Coolbaugh Township Board of Supervisors, stepped right out of her car and walked over to argue directly with the person recording. Before making a pass, drivers really need to check the entire stretch of road ahead and only go for it when the road lines and traffic conditions actually allow it.
Driver, stop your vehicle!
After the driver was taken into custody, police ended up finding an open bottle of alcohol along with several tanks of nitrous oxide inside the car. Watching this driver attempt an illegal pass right as danger suddenly pops up is definitely enough to make anyone's heart skip a beat. Luckily, nobody was hurt here. Failing to check your blind spots before changing lanes can easily lead to a massive accident.
Malo. Malo. Lượng. Đợt này nặng hơn đợt trước đó nha.
The solid build of this car is exactly what kept the driver safe after this unexpected crash. The moment this car suddenly tries to pass without checking properly is definitely enough to catch anyone by surprise. Before making any turns, a driver always needs to check both in front and behind them. They should only change lanes when their line of sight is completely clear. Before making any turns, a driver always needs to check both in front and behind them. They should only change lanes when their line of sight is completely clear.
By doing a stock merger or some form of acquisition of Tesla. And that's probably why we saw a pretty clean move up off the 500 down to 337. But this stability around the mid 400s.
What do you think was the biggest mistake here? Rushing the pass, or just totally failing to watch the vehicle in front? It's possible the driver just misjudged the distance or completely failed to see the oncoming vehicle before they started to pass. Before any kind of pass, a driver has to check what's going on both in front and behind them and only switch lanes when they have a perfectly clear view. An orange, strong wind warning has actually been issued for Tararua Wairarapa and Wellington, lasting right through until Tuesday night.
Ay, Dios mío. Ah! What the?
The intense glare from those headlights blinded the driver just enough so they didn't even spot the car in front of them until they were way too close. This dog is out here impressing everyone with its skateboarding skills. The driver of the SUV tried to swerve and avoid a head-on crash, but the vehicle lost control and plowed right through the trees on the side of the road. Workers should always wear their proper safety gear to keep themselves protected on the job. Luckily, a good Samaritan jumped in and pulled them both out of the water. The Coast Guard recorded the whole thing and there were 0 reported injuries. If you thought that last clip was wild, just wait until you see what happens next. When you have a green light, it's almost impossible to predict that another car is just going to blow right through the intersection from the other side. Using anything highly flammable or building up pressure in a tight enclosed space can cause things to go wrong a lot faster than you might think. The back of the car got clipped by the train, but luckily both the driver and the passengers made it out without a scratch. This vehicle clearly didn't clear the height limits, but it definitely succeeded in taking the whole clearance bar right along with it. Instead of going back and forth, both sides should just step back, get it on camera, and let the police handle the rest.
Here it goes, and it's going the wrong way! Oh my gosh!
Taking down a massive tree this close to a building always takes some serious calculation. You have to perfectly judge the lean, the exact cut, and exactly where it's going to land. When taking a tight corner, the shifting weight can easily throw a load off balance, especially if the straps or tie-downs aren't properly secured. This was a near miss for an absolute disaster on Interstate 95. Thankfully, no one ended up getting hurt. After its brakes completely failed, the crane truck lost control and shoved a parked car straight into the water. The runaway tire rolled right around a gas pump, weaved its way through traffic, and finally started slowing down near the front exit. Pressurized fire extinguishers and tanks always need to be checked regularly and strapped down tight whenever they're being transported in a vehicle.
Like, do it again. Rewind it.
This area needs to be blocked off immediately, just to keep cars and pedestrians away from the edge of the hole before it collapses any further. Stick around with us because the clip at the end might just completely change your mind about which moment is the craziest. Fortunately, there were zero reports of anyone getting hurt after this whole incident. The person filming kept the raw footage completely unedited. They're hoping the video can help clear up exactly what happened and show where safety needs to be improved. The suspect was actually brought in for questioning at the Novi Sad Higher Public Prosecutor's Office regarding the charges they're facing. This incident really shows why inspecting and trimming down old rotting trees before storm season hits can massively cut down on the danger. This is a great reminder to never hang out too close to the road. Even if there are parked cars right in front of you acting as a shield, things can still go wrong. Keeping a safe distance is the best way to give yourself those extra few seconds of braking time just in case the driver in front of you slams on the brakes. Those two pedestrians were just inches away from the impact. They barely managed to dodge the out-of-control car. Do you think causing a massive crash like this and then taking off should mean losing your driver's license for a long time? Weaving in and out of lanes like this leaves the drivers around you with almost no time and no space to actually react.
Fucking dumb cop.
Everybody walked away fine, and it's safe to say this new driver learned a very valuable lesson that day. A moment of losing focus might only last a second, but dealing with the aftermath is rarely ever that quick. looking like a failure in the tail rotor drive system might be to blame here, but investigators are still working to figure out the exact cause. The driver tried to force a pass at all costs, but the vehicle ended up completely ripping its own engine out to bring the whole trip to a halt. Just a split second of impatience can completely rob a driver of their braking distance, and it immediately puts everyone else around them in danger. Controlled blasts like this are usually set off to clear out rough terrain and clear a much safer path for new road construction. The battery on this electric scooter suddenly caught fire in the back lot of a warehouse, and the flames spread incredibly fast. That massive difference in speed meant the driver had virtually zero time to pull off the maneuver or even try to avoid the crash. Fortunately, the pilot wasn't hurt, and amazingly, no pedestrians or other vehicles on the road were hit either. Instead of just riding off right away, the riders should have stopped to check on themselves, their bike, and the property they just smashed into. What do you think is more concerning here? The car driving way too fast, or the crowd standing way too close to the street? The security camera shows that the fire flared up almost the exact second a spark caught the fuel vapors in the air. Taking two massive hits back-to-back left, the car practically destroyed, and it even sparked a small explosion from the leaking fuel. What do you think really caused this one? Was it just speeding or completely drifting over into oncoming traffic? Just a tiny mistake in calculating the falling angle is all it takes to turn a standard tree removal into a complete disaster. Even though blocking someone in with a bad parking job is incredibly frustrating, using your own vehicle to get revenge is never the right way to handle it. Massive wind gusts hitting 60 to 70 miles per hour out in Texas managed to completely blow over a semi-truck while it was driving right down the highway. If you ever spot a wild animal roaming around your neighborhood, the best thing you can do is stay inside and quickly call local animal control. What do you think the very first move should be if you see a downed power line? Yelling for everyone to stay back or immediately dialing for help? This incredibly close call was all caught right on a Florida traffic camera. This driver completely forgot to lower his dump bed and ended up bringing the entire power line system crashing down onto the street. Before you try to pass or change lanes anywhere near an intersection, you always have to slow down, check the signals, and make totally sure the road ahead is completely clear. Over in Durham, England, what kind of penalty do you think the authorities are going to hand down for a risky move like this? The suspect was actually taken to the hospital with some minor injuries, while 2 other people were checked out by paramedics right there at the scene. Throughout the entire thing, the victims stayed completely calm. By just rolling up their window and refusing to argue, they kept a bad situation from escalating into something much worse. When crossing a narrow bridge, bigger vehicles should always slow down and give any pedestrians as much space as physically possible. Whenever you're driving down a narrow road or hitting a blind corner right in a neighborhood, you need to slow down early and avoid any jerky steering. If your car ever gets stuck on the train tracks, the absolute #1 priority is getting everyone out of the vehicle and as far away from the tracks as possible. Luckily, 4 police officers were standing right nearby. They saw the whole crash happen and instantly took the driver into custody right there at the scene. driver was just trying to back out of the driveway, but they couldn't stop in time and backed the car straight into a solid brick wall. The massive landslide of rocks and dirt stopped at the exact last second, completely saving the church from being totally wiped out. This incident is a textbook example of why the hitch locking pins and trailer brakes all need to be double-checked before you ever hit the road. This security footage could easily become a key piece of evidence, helping investigators figure out exactly who was where, how fast they were going, and who is actually at fault. Keeping a safe following distance is incredibly important, especially when you're cruising behind a semi-truck or stuck in heavy traffic. The brand new bridge is designed to handle about 64,000 vehicles every single day, and roughly 13,000 of those are heavy trucks. People on bicycles still have to obey the traffic lights, and they should only ever make a turn when they're totally sure the lane is clear. Hitting a blind corner while carrying way too much speed left these drivers with practically zero time to hit the brakes. This truck basically just finished a deep water driving test, only to instantly be forced into a mud climbing exam just to get back on dry land. The smaller car just wanted to aggressively merge into the lane, but instead it forced the dump truck to plow an entirely new path straight through the trees. What do you think really saved this guy? Was it just pure luck on the distance, or his lightning-fast reflex to sprint out of the way? If you're ever in a spot like this, you need to get out of the cab, warn the other drivers, and immediately call the fire department instead of trying to move the rig yourself. What do you think was the biggest mistake here? Totally ignoring the blind spot or just jumping lanes without even using a blinker? Following the incident, Waymo actually placed temporary limits on some of their routes that cross train tracks just so they could take a step back and reevaluate their systems. When you're driving down a narrow street in a residential area, you've got to slow down and keep the vehicle totally steady so you don't end up in a ditch or parked on someone's front lawn. What do you think played a bigger role in this crash? Was it just the insane speed or the incredibly aggressive lane change? After slamming into a whole row of parked cars, the vehicle finally came to a stop, and amazingly, the girl walked away with just a few scratches.
I'm gonna leave this dog on board, mate. Alright. Oh, wait.
This dog was actually rescued right after an inflatable kayak was blown all the way out to sea by the wind.
You're about to head off to Longston and then Norway.
Should we shut the door? Yeah, in a minute. He just came out through the whole windshield. How did he even get in the car? Did you leave the window down?
Check out this incredibly bright meteor shooting right across the sky in Maryland.
What is that? What am I looking at right now? Has a circle pattern.
Giving yourself a safe following distance is always going to work out better than having to rely on a risky last-second maneuver. We want to give a huge thanks to the local authorities and the rescue teams. They showed up fast, got the situation under control, and managed to protect the local farmers' crops from the massive fire. Literally millions of tiny red crabs are absolutely swarming Christmas Island right now. Thanks for joining us for another look at today's craziest moments. If you enjoy seeing these incredible stories caught on camera, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss our next video.